Welcome back to AI Search Explained by Rank4AI. I'm Adam Parker, and I'm here with my co-founder Jimmy Connoley. Today, we're tackling a question we get almost daily from UK business owners. Should you invest in AI search visibility now, or is it better to wait and see how things develop?
It's probably the most practical question we face, isn't it? Because unlike traditional SEO, where you could see clear ROI timelines, AI search feels like this moving target that might not even matter yet.
Exactly. And from our research into how these AI systems actually interpret and recommend businesses, I can tell you the landscape is shifting faster than most people realize. We've been running audits across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, and Copilot for months now, and the patterns are becoming clearer. But here's what I'm hearing from business owners. They're getting conflicting advice. Some consultants are saying AI search is the future and you need to act immediately. Others are saying it's too early and traditional SEO still dominates. Both camps have valid points, but they're missing the nuance. When we audit businesses now through rank4ai.co.uk, we're seeing that AI systems are already making recommendations in certain sectors, particularly local services, professional services, and B2B, but the visibility patterns are completely different from Google rankings.
Different how? Because if I'm running a Manchester accounting firm or a Birmingham marketing agency, I need specifics on what that actually means for my business.
Great example. In our AI interpretation research, we found that local service businesses are getting mentioned by ChatGPT and Perplexity based on entirely different signals than what drives their Google rankings. It's not about keyword density or backlinks. It's about how clearly their expertise and location context appears in the training data.
So when you say training data, you mean these AI systems have already learned about these businesses from somewhere. They're not pulling fresh web results like Google does.
Partly, yes. Though systems like Perplexity and Google's AI overviews do pull some real-time data, but the foundation, how they understand what your business does and who should know about it, that's baked into how they interpret business information more broadly.
This is where I think business owners get stuck, though. They understand SEO because they can see the connection, optimize content, build links, potentially rank higher. But with AI systems, what's the actual work they need to do?
The work is different, but not necessarily more complex. From our audits, we see three main areas where UK businesses can build AI search visibility: information consistency, expertise documentation, and contextual relevance.
Break that down. Information consistency sounds like basic business listings, but I suspect you mean something more specific.
It goes beyond NAP consistency. AI systems are trying to understand what your business actually does, not just where it's located. So if you're a Liverpool-based logistics company, they need to understand your service range, your industry focus, your operational scope, and that information needs to align across every mention of your business. That makes sense, but how do you know if you're getting that right? It's not like you can check your AI search rankings the way you check Google positions. This is one of the biggest operational challenges right now. We've developed our audit process specifically for this, testing how businesses appear across different AI systems when users ask relevant questions. But you're right, there's no Search Console equivalent yet. So businesses are essentially flying blind unless they're working with someone who's doing this testing systematically. To some extent, yes, though there are indicators you can watch. If your business gets mentioned when you test queries in ChatGPT or Claude, if you appear in Perplexity results for industry-specific questions, if Google AI overviews include your content, those are positive signals. But that brings us back to the original question. Should businesses invest now or wait? Because testing queries isn't the same as seeing revenue from AI search. This is where I think the wait-and-see approach is risky, especially for UK businesses. Our research shows that AI systems are already influencing decision-making in B2B contexts. When someone asks ChatGPT for recommendations on London PR agencies or asks Perplexity about software development companies in Edinburgh, those responses are shaping actual business decisions. Are we seeing evidence of that, though? Because I could ask ChatGPT for restaurant recommendations, but that doesn't mean I'm actually booking based on what it tells me.
Fair challenge. We can't track the full conversion path yet, but we are seeing businesses report inquiries where prospects mention they found them through AI recommendations. It's anecdotal still, but the pattern is emerging.
So what's the practical middle ground? Because most UK businesses aren't going to restructure their entire marketing strategy based on anecdotal evidence, but they also don't want to miss an opportunity.
Start with audit and optimization of existing digital assets. Most businesses can improve their AI search visibility by better organizing information they already have. That's not a massive investment, but it builds the foundation.
Give me an example of that. What does better organizing information actually look like in practice? Take a typical UK manufacturing company. They might have case studies, service descriptions, and company information scattered across their website, LinkedIn, industry directories. AI systems struggle to piece together a coherent picture of their capabilities from fragmented information. So the work is consolidating and clarifying what they already communicate about their business.
Exactly, and doing it in a way that helps AI systems understand the connections. When Claude or Gemini encounter information about this company, they should be able to quickly grasp this is what they make, this is who they serve, this is why they're relevant to specific types of inquiries.
That sounds reasonable as a starting point. But what about businesses in highly competitive sectors? If everyone starts doing this, does it just become another arms race like SEO? It will become competitive eventually, but we're still early enough that basic optimization creates meaningful differentiation. In our audits, we regularly see businesses with strong Google rankings that are completely invisible in AI recommendations, simply because their information isn't structured in a way these systems can interpret effectively. So there's still first-mover advantage available for businesses that get this right now. I believe so, yes. But the advantage isn't just about timing. It's about understanding how AI systems fundamentally differ from search engines in how they process and recommend business information. Walk me through that difference, because I think this is where a lot of business owners get confused about whether AI search is even relevant to them. Google shows you options and lets you choose. AI systems make recommendations based on interpreting your intent and matching it against their understanding of available solutions. So instead of optimizing to appear in a list of results, you're optimizing to be the recommended solution for specific types of problems or needs. That's a fundamental shift in how businesses need to think about their visibility. Instead of competing for attention, they're competing for recommendation. Precisely. And that changes everything about how you present your business information. It's less about keywords and more about context and clarity of positioning. But surely some sectors are more ready for this than others. A local plumber probably doesn't need to worry about ChatGPT recommendations the same way a B2B consultant might. You'd be surprised. We've seen local service businesses getting recommended by AI systems when people ask location-specific questions. Best electrician in Newcastle or reliable plumber near me. These queries are happening in AI chat interfaces, especially among younger demographics. Point taken. So what's the risk of waiting? If a business decides to focus on traditional marketing for now and revisit AI search in 12 months, what do they potentially lose? They lose the chance to influence how AI systems learn to understand their market category. The businesses that are getting recommended now are helping to establish the patterns these systems use for future recommendations. That's quite a claim. Are you saying that being visible in AI search now actually improves your chances of staying visible as these systems evolve?
Based on what we're seeing, yes. AI systems appear to reinforce successful recommendations. If your business consistently provides good results when recommended, that strengthens the association between your capabilities and relevant user needs.
So it's not just about current visibility, it's about training the systems to understand why your business should be recommended.
Exactly. And that's not something you can quickly catch up on later. It requires consistent, clear positioning across multiple touchpoints over time.
All right, so for UK business owners listening to this, what's the practical first step, assuming they're convinced this matters but don't know where to start?
Test your current AI visibility. Spend an hour asking relevant questions across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Gemini. See if your business appears in any recommendations for the types of problems you solve.
And if they don't appear, or if they appear with incomplete or inaccurate information?
That tells you where the gaps are. Usually, it's about how your business information is structured and presented, not about the quality of your actual services. Is this something most businesses can tackle internally, or do they need specialist help? Basic optimization can be done internally if you understand the principles, but proper AI search strategy requires understanding how these systems interpret business information, which is quite specialized knowledge. And this is evolving rapidly. Google AI overviews, new features in ChatGPT, updates to how Perplexity sources information. The technical landscape keeps shifting, which is another argument for starting now rather than waiting. You need time to understand how these changes affect your specific business and market category. Fair point. What about budget? Are we talking about significant investment, or can businesses start small and scale up? Most businesses can start with audit and basic optimization for a relatively small investment. It's not like paid advertising where you need ongoing spend to see results. More like traditional SEO in that sense. You're building assets that continue working over time. Yes, though the asset you're building is different.
Instead of paid authority and link equity, you're building clarity of business positioning and expertise documentation that AI systems can interpret effectively. Looking ahead, what do you think the UK market will look like in 18 months for businesses that invest in AI search visibility now versus those that wait? I think we'll see a clear division between businesses that are getting regular AI-driven inquiries and those that are struggling to understand why their traditional marketing isn't working as well as it used to. That's a strong prediction. What gives you confidence that AI search will have that level of impact on UK business visibility? The adoption patterns we're seeing, particularly in professional services and B2B, people are already using AI systems for business research and recommendations. As these tools become more integrated into daily workflows, that behavior will only increase. And businesses that aren't visible in those AI recommendations will essentially be invisible to a growing segment of potential customers.
That's my assessment, yes. Which is why I believe the question isn't whether to invest in AI search visibility, but how quickly you can get started without disrupting your existing marketing effectiveness.
So the recommendation is start now, but start strategically rather than rushing into major changes.
Absolutely. Build understanding through testing, identify gaps through audit, then optimize systematically. It's a measured approach that builds on what's already working rather than replacing it.
That makes sense for most UK businesses. Low risk, but positions them for what looks like an inevitable shift in how people find and evaluate business solutions.
Exactly. And the businesses that understand this transition early will have significant advantages as AI search becomes more mainstream. To wrap up, UK businesses should start building AI search visibility now, but they should start smart. Test your current visibility, understand your gaps, then optimize systematically. Don't wait for perfect clarity on ROI. By the time that's obvious, the first mover advantage will be gone. If you want help with auditing your AI search visibility, you can find more information at rankforai.co.uk.
Thanks for listening to AI Search Explained. We'll be back next week with more practical insights on preparing your business for AI-driven search and recommendation systems.